Hello children, as we are discussing Standard 12 History Chapter 3 topic Kingship, Caste and Class. So in our last class we have discussed on the topic social difference between caste system. I hope that portion was clear to you all. Now in our today class we will discuss on the topic beyond birth, resources and status. Clear? So our first topic of discussion is gender access to property. So how resources was divided. Now we have discussed about the Varna category. Now resources should be based on its category and occupation. Was it like that? Like Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, they were the upper three category. They were the rich. They were having resources. Now Sudras. What about Sudras? They does not have any option to gain resources. Now out here we will discuss on the basis of gender. That is division of resources between men and women. But before that, regarding Mahabharata story, you all know that children, that two cousins were fighting, that is Kaurava and Pandava. They were fighting basically for property. Now, who will get the power of throne and who will get how much property? For that they all were fighting. Now when Kaurava and Pandava, they play game with Sakuni, that is a game of dice. You know what happened children? Pandava, they lost the game and they lost themselves, they lost their property, they lost their wealth and even they lost their wife too. Now out here we will, that is gender access to property. Out here we will discuss about what property belong to men and women. Now according to Manusmriti, Dharma Sutra and Dharma Shastra, we see that whatever property belonged to father, that was equally divided among the son, that is after the death of father. Clear? Now suppose if king is having 4 sons, the property will divide equally among the 4 sons. Now but out here the eldest son used to get special share. Clear? Now what about women during that time? Now women during that time do not have right to claim for the resources, but women, they used to get gift during their marriage, and this was known as Stri Dhan. That is, this gift was their property. That is, this gift was the property of women. Now on this gift that the women, they have got during the time of marriage, on this gift only the children, the women children can inherit it. That means they have got the right to claim on this gift, but the husband do not use to claim, as they do not have the right to claim on it. Clear? Now in Manusmriti we have seen that it was mentioned that women do not have any right to collect family property, nor even they can collect valuable thing without their husband permission. Clear? If a husband will give permission, then only the woman can collect the resources, and if not, they can't collect any resources from family. Clear? Now regarding wealthy women, we have discussed about Prabhavati Gupta in chapter 2, that she belonged from upper class, so she has got right to hold property, and even she used to grant the land and wealth. Clear? However, we got some textual evidence from where we get the information that upper class women, they used to assess the resources like land, cattle and money. Clear? So out here we have seen that the social difference that lie between men and women, and this difference we could see on the basis of resources. Why? As because men and women were not having equal right on the resources. For this reason the social differences arose. Clear? So this is all about the division of resources on the basis of gender. So our next we will discuss about Varna and access to property. Now according to Brahmanical texts, another right on wealth was Varna. Now on the basis of Varna, how resources were divided? Let's see. There are 4 Varna. Now Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Now Brahman, they were uppermost, they were having resources, they were rich, but few evidence we got that some Brahmins were poor, but they were not so poor. Clear? Now second, Kshatriyas, they were king, no doubt they were having huge resources. Second, Vaishyas. Now Vaishyas, By profession they were agriculturist, artisan, trader. So definitely they will have huge resources. Now the fourth one, the Sudras. In all situations, what we have seen is that they were the poor and without resources. Now on the basis of Varna, the resources were divided. Clear? Now what we have seen is that Sudra have no chance to gain resources. Clear? Now we have get some evidence out there also that some outsider, they came from some other subcontinent who belong to the lower caste. What they used to do, they used to take the wealth of the king and they used to become rich. So this type of evidence also we get. Now in Buddhist texts also it was mentioned that there was difference in society, but that difference was not natural and it was not inflexible. They have rejected the idea to claim the status on the basis of birth. Clear? Now on the basis of Varna, what we have seen is that there was no chance to be rich, as because already the category was divided and they were having their own occupations, so there was no chance to be rich on the basis of Varna. Now next, our topic of discussion is an alternative social scenario. That is, out here we will get sharing wealth. Now we get some exceptional cases, as those who used to have excess wealth, they used to share it. Now children, you will see this kind of sharing of wealth in southern part. Why in south? As we have seen that big and beautiful temples in south, isn't it? Now earlier time people, what they used to do is that they used to have excess wealth. Now how much wealth they need, they used to keep with them. Rest they used to donate in the temple, or they used to construct the wealth. So out here, so sharing of wealth was an important part, as people who do not used to have wealth, they used to accept that the wealthier people should share wealth among the needy. Clear? Now in ancient Tamilakam, that is in the southern part of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, where we have seen that there were men who was generous, that is they used to give grant. They were very dansil person, we are found in south, and they were being given respect by the people. But apart from that, there were some people who were very miserly, that means they were very conjuice. What they used to do, they are having intention to collect more and more resources and wealth. So this type of people were not liked by the people and they were being hated by the people. Clear? In 2000 years ago in south, there were several chiefdom, and this chief, they used to be a regular customer of poet. That is, they used to say poem, and when they were saying the poem, their poem was being liked and they were being praised. Clear? And they used to get gift, and what the chief used to do with this gift is that they used to share this gift among the people. Clear? Now in poem of Tamil Sangam, it is used to highlight, that is, the poem of Tamil Sangam has highlighted the relation between the social and economic relationship, and even they used to give suggestion through poem that the difference between rich and poor should be ended, and if the resources that was collected, if that resources were shared among them, that is among the needy people, it will be more helpful. So through poem they used to explain that after fulfilling the needs, if you are having any extra wealth, then you must share it with the needy people, and in doing this it will remain, or it will remove the difference, that is a social difference between rich and poor. Clear? Now next we will discuss on explaining social difference, that is a social contract we will discuss. Now out here the Buddhists, they understand the social inequality which was prevalent during that time. Clear? And it was increasing, that is the social inequality was increasing, and they thought that there was a requirement of an institution which could regulate or can control the social conflict that was prevailing peacefully. That means they are having a social difference between rich and poor, upper class and higher class, so that conflict should be controlled. For that they thought that an institution is required which can control it peacefully. Clear? Now there was a book, a Buddhist book, that was Sutta Pitaka. In this book it was suggested that the early human being used to live in peace. That means in early time the people used to live in very peacefully, and they used to take from nature only how much was required. Clear? That is, how much they require, that much only they used to inherit from the nature. For example, if suppose a person want only one apple to eat, they used to only take one apple from the tree. Means how much was required, they only used to take that much. But now what we can see is that with the passes of time, if one apple is needed, apart from one apple they are taking more apple. Clear? That means now people have become more greedy and revengeful. So due to this there was a required of a leader. Clear? Why? Who will ensure that he can protect the people, and the one whom they found, that is the people whom they found perfect, they used to choose that person as a leader. And what the leader used to do is that if the leader they found anyone committing any crime, what they used to do is that they used to be vanished. That means they used to be thrown out of the country. Clear? Now Buddhists, what they have said overall is that they wanted to say is that it is the human being who have spoiled the system. Clear? Now it is only the responsibility of the human to make it perfect. Clear? Out here, that is, if a human being has spoiled the nature, that means it is a responsibility of the human being to make it perfect. Clear? Now the leader who used to give the services to the people, in return they used to get rice. Means the people used to give them rice. And the leader who is chosen by the people, they were known as Mahasamanta. Clear? I hope you all understand it, children. So in our next class we will discuss on handling text about historian and Mahabharata. So till then, take care. Thank you.